How you doing, everybody? Jonathan here, and in this video, I'm going to pick up from my last video and talk about the first year of business ownership and how to get clients, because I think a lot of you look at my Instagram page and you see the success that I have now, and you assume that there was a magic button that I pushed that allows me to have 25 people show up for a class at 5:30. But it's been a long haul, and I want to give you guys a realistic view on my journey so that you can understand what it takes to see success, and that will help me to bridge the gap that a lot of you have in terms of getting clients. So I'll go over that with you guys so you can see success. Before I do, if you're not yet, make sure to click on that link up there and subscribe to my newsletter, as I send out short articles every Monday on how to see success in the fitness industry. If you just happen to stumble upon this video, please click on the YouTube icon below and subscribe to this channel, as I make videos every Wednesday based on questions that I get the most. And as always, if you've already subscribed to both my newsletter and to the YouTube channel, thank you very much for your support. And if you find the information in this video helpful, please click on the like button below the video player, because every like that I get helps this channel. All right, so when it comes to my journey, it has not been an easy one. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, there are two sites that you can go to. You can go to @BFF or you can go to @JHurdless_. So you can see kind of like daily what it's like for me to be a bootcamp trainer. But I don't want you to think that it just happened overnight. It's been 6 years since actually 7 since I decided to start my own boot camp, and I want to give you a realistic view of my first year so you understand how hard it was, as I understand a lot of you come into the fitness industry with a long-term goal of owning your own business, and you should, but I don't want you to think that it's that easy. All right, so let's talk about my journey. My last video on me starting off as a personal trainer kind of left off with my second big box gym job. And while I was there, I wasn't happy. I realized that I wanted to have my own business. I was urged by one of my clients that I should attempt it and I should try it, and she supported me, and that's probably the biggest thing that got me to do it. She believed in me more than I believed in myself. So you guys have to first believe in yourself. If you don't have that inner confidence and you don't commit yourself to seeing success, it won't happen, because there are too many pitfalls that you will inevitably face, as nothing is that easy, and especially nothing worth having is that easy. I made up my mind to do this at the beginning of the year. At some point, I said I want to be better. I wasn't exactly sure what better meant in terms of like on my own boot camp, but in January, I told my friends I wanted to be better, and I didn't even get into the park until May. So I made up my mind that I was going to start a boot camp in a park. I started in May. That was my first mistake. I probably should have started in like March, right when the weather was starting to get warm. But I made up my mind. I said, we're going to do this now. In terms of getting clients, the client that had urged me to start my own boot camp was a personal training client. She knew that she wasn't going to be able to afford the personal training much longer. And she said, if you try this out, I'll support you, which she did. So for my first boot camp class, she told me that she'd bring a friend, so she brought a friend. I still kind of lacked confidence, so I asked two of my buddies, who really weren't even certified and didn't have any experience training, just to come along as kind of like my support. And I only had one piece of equipment, to my knowledge. I think it was like a cheap resistance band. So imagine this, we have 3 trainers, only one that really has any kind of experience. We have 2 clients, and we have 1 piece of equipment. Now, on top of that, in the park, on the other side of the football field, so less than 100 meters away, there was another boot camp running. This had 2 trainers. This had about 20 clients. This had all the equipment that you would ever want: ropes, weighted vests, dumbbells, kettlebells, bands, TRXs, and they had music blasting out of a nice Cadillac. So I have my 2 boot campers. All right, my first day, I'm completely nervous, and then less than 100 yards away, I had this awesome boot camp going on. And I'm thinking, why am I even bothering? Why should I even try? This is gonna be a complete failure. But I get through the first day, and I asked my friend, how did it go? My client, how did it go? She says it went all right, just keep on trying. So that's the one thing I have to tell you. You're gonna suck in the beginning, all right? This is, like, I look at my first boot camp class, even indoors, compared to now. I learned a lot. But like, even in terms of delivery, all right, you're probably going to struggle, because you need to be comfortable in that space if that's not something that you're used to doing. So you have to commit yourself to sucking until you're good. All right, so I had mentioned this to a number of clients who stopped training with me. So I said, hey, listen, if you want to come to my boot camp, you can come to the park, on Saturdays or whatever the case may be. So I was able to get one ex-client, and then she called in a number of her friends. I had also worked in banking, as you know, and I mentioned this to my previous coworkers. So that was another person, another thing she brought in a friend. So another thing that you want to know is that when you're first starting, you have to reach out to everybody that you know, every single person, and you can't be ashamed, because the worst they can say is no, all right? And more than likely, if they're a good friend, they're gonna say no, but they'll encourage you, or they might at least ask around, all right? So for a little while, I had about, let's say, 4 or 5 clients, and I think that I was charging them like $50 a month, you know, just to train, because it's more important to get people in the beginning than it is to get money. A lot of you guys are worrying about, oh, should I charge 100? Should I charge 200? Should I charge this? Should I charge that? But like when you're very, very beginning, especially in a park, you want to get as much buzz around you as possible. All right. In terms of the name changes, I had a stupid idea. All right. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the movie 300, starring Gerard Butler, and it has the blood spatter. It's all about Sparta. And so I started 300 boot camp. So I had shirts made where it had blood spatter font 300 boot camp. All right, that is like the least marketable way that you can talk about a boot camp to your audience. And so as people were coming, you know, my friends came, but to my surprise, nobody from the park wanted to do the boot camp because they were intimidated. They see this guy walking around with blood spatter on his shirt, and then, do you want to take my boot camp? It didn't matter what kind of smile I had on my face. They were just thinking, no, this is going to be too intense for me. So I learned my lesson pretty quickly, and then quickly changed, because it was Brookdale Park, to Brookdale Boot Camp. So I had these people coming in, and let me let you know that it wasn't that everybody was coming in every day. I think I was running it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I specifically remember, as I started to make money, the first thing I did was I bought equipment, or I had people bring equipment, and I had to drag it onto the park, you know, from wherever I parked my car onto the training area. So it was killing me to drag all these weights from my car to the training area, and then maybe on a given day, one person may show up, maybe 2. Very rarely would I have a full house, but you have to continue to commit yourself to the learning process. By the way, at this point, one of my friends, you know, it was raining that day, and I wasn't sure if people were going to come in, and I said to him, hey, listen, Jay, we're going to do this boot camp. You coming? And he was like, you know what? I really don't want to come. And then that's when I realized, all right, listen, this is my dream. This is not his. So I'm not going to force you to attend the boot camp with me, or to teach the boot camp. But if this isn't something that you want to do, you shouldn't do it. So we kind of, after a little argument, we kind of agreed, all right, this isn't for you. I'm not going to make you like take this journey with me. I knew this was my journey. And then we're down to 2 trainers now. So 2 trainers, on some days a good amount of people, other days not so much. So I start to notice another flaw. I have Brookdale Boot Camp. Still, not everybody is keen on boot camp, and that may not be the case right now because this was 7 years ago. But I quickly changed my name. I operated out of a park called Brookdale Park in Bloomfield, New Jersey, and changed my name to Brookdale Fun and Fitness. Now this was also a change that was, the catalyst of the change was the fact that I was going to put together a meetup group, and I would definitely recommend it if you're starting, go to meetup.com, meetup.com. And instead of putting boot camp in, because I didn't want them to think that it was something that they were going to be charged for, I just called it Brookdale Fun and Fitness. So I said every Wednesday, it was once a week, if you want to come in, it's free. So my first Wednesday, I think I drew an extra 2 or 3 people. And by the way, I had to keep communications open constantly with anybody that joined my meetup group. So I had to stay on top of everything. I was able to draw a number of people in, and on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays, the group got actually pretty large. It got to a point where I remember some Wednesdays I was up to like 17 people. However, Mondays and Fridays, especially Fridays was like 1 person. Monday might have been 4 to 6, but I was still happy and my energy was always the same regardless. Going forward, I remember somebody coming in, his name was Hin. And then he said, I see your boot camp. He had messaged me through meetup.com. He said, you know, I go to Brookdale Park. Can I come in? I said, yeah, the more the merrier. Now, little did I know, this guy was like big in golfing and in like technology with golfing. Like, he did the back end work in terms of the audio and the video for major golfing competitions. I didn't know that. I just wanted as many people as possible. And I'll save him for a little bit later, but it was very important that I met him and I was able to let him do it for free, because he started to really like me. He started to really like the boot camp, and he was one of the few people that crossed over when I went indoors. Now I'm looking at the video time. We're already at 12 minutes, so I'm going to make this part 1 of 2 because I don't want to have 20-minute videos. But the main thing that I want you to remember is that when I started, I had to do a lot of things. Number 1, I had to believe in myself. Number 2, I had to tell everybody about the boot camp that I was going to do. Number 3, I had to respond to the perception that people had of my boot camp in terms of the 300 boot camp, then Brookdale boot camp, and finally Brookdale Fun and Fitness, which is the name that I essentially keep with BFF boot camp. And then I focused more on numbers than I did about making a lot of money. Finally, I had to commit. I had to commit no matter what. My energy stayed the same, whether I had one person show up or that 50 people show up. Now, when it came to the meetups, eventually like 1 or 2 people ended up paying me for personal training on the side or join my Monday, Wednesday, Friday group. But I started to see at the end of the summer, this is not going to be sustainable, and I'm going to have to get myself into an indoor facility because I'm not going to be able to train people in the snow. All right, so I'm going to leave it off here, and then I'm going to pick up our next video from the end of the park, transitioning over to the indoor facility that I'm still at now. That's about it for now. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to comment below. I'll make a video next week finishing up this topic, and then we'll go from there. Now, as always, if you just stumbled upon my video, obviously I got to formalize my skills and put together a syllabus, and that's what you see on all of my Instagram posts, and that's what is the content of my Dumbbells to Dollars course. It's a course put together for people looking to start their own business and see success as a fitness professional. Whether you're a rookie or a vet, it can be tailored for personal training so you can put it to work in the big box gym, and it lays out exactly how you may want to take a more streamlined approach from the big box gym to seeing a lot of success, to being the best trainer in your big box gym, to eventually a business owner. So if you want to learn more about my Dumbbells to Dollars course, click on that image up there. It's CEU approved for ACE, NASM, ISSA, NSCA, AFA, and also will help you go over nutrition. But I'll hold it for now. This is a long video. I'll see you guys next week. Ask any questions, and as always, remember to eat healthy, hydrate, dress safe, stress levels, don't get rest. Don't slap anybody, love your clients, and they'll love you back. I'll see you all tomorrow or the next day, and you have a good one.